Ready when you are. Hi guys, I'm Mackenzie Barrett, and I'm from the RSJ school with UNR alumni, Mr. Joey Gilbert. We're here to interview you today. So starting off, I would just like to know if you could tell me about your background, like where you came from.
Okay. Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago. Born and raised in Chicago and moved out here right before finishing grade school at Our Lady of Snows. So I went to Our Lady of Snows, and then I went to Bishop Manogue, and then I went to the University of Nevada. And I finished up right in 2000. I walked and deferred for a year, and then went to law school. And I actually deferred for a year to go through the Nevada Air National Guard program to get money for law school, and then I didn't get accepted into UNLV, so I had to go to San Diego.
That's
That's how it is.
All right, and then could you describe a normal day in your life, like today, for example?
Okay. Well, I don't think there's any really normal days around here because everything usually, we have a lot of things happening here, and it's not just a law firm. I have a lobbying wing in governmental affairs. I have cannabis that we're doing. Of course, medical marijuana. Cannabis is a huge, huge project I undertook about 2 years ago. And then I have, boxing stuff I do on the side. So it's kind of a, what do you want to say, like a free-for-all. Usually I have court hearings that are set, which I know I have to be at, but then because of the background I'm in and because of the law I do, which is criminal defense and personal injury and also entertainment type law, it kind of can happen anytime and you could be needed at any time. So my days typically, usually start out with court somewhere first, and I'm usually in court most days, usually 4 days a week, sometimes twice a day. And if it's a morning set, it's usually 8:30. If it's in Minden and it's at 8:30, you kind of got to put that into perspective because then I'm up about 6 o'clock and out the door by, I don't know what time it is, but it's far earlier than I want to be. So usually day consists of starting with court, back and checking with the office, see what we've got, jumping and who we need to talk to, what clients or client management we need to do. And then I usually have an afternoon docket too. So court in the morning, middle of the day is usually left for talking to clients, communicating with vendors and other people we're doing stuff with. Afternoon docket's usually 1 or 1:30 till about 3, and then it's usually back to the office to do kind of the same thing and game plan for the next day.
All right, I see. It seems like you've got a really pretty busy day going on.
Yes, I've got a busy day and I've got great staff, and that's, at the end of the day, that's what's most important, and probably what you need more than anything is to have a great team. And I'm able to do all the things I do at a young age, I think, because I've just had a great group of mentors, supporting cast, and staff and family since day one.
That's good to hear. All right. And then, other than boxing, do you have any unusual hobbies that you do?
Other than boxing, no. I play tennis. I've recently started trying to learn tennis, and a couple years ago, and kind of got addicted to that. So I play a lot more than I should. And I'll go there at night and serve for an hour and a half, and I'm just trying to get my serve down right now. So yeah, that's one thing. And then, I don't know, I like to ski. I like to get up in the hills and the mountains. I'm always down to lay in the sun on the beach and relax. So I love the ocean. And yeah, it's probably the only hobby I would have that people wouldn't know is sunbathing.
Sunbathing? Interesting. All right. Is there something that you believe no one would know about you other than you like sunbathing?
My life's pretty open.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of, chose that path, for lack of different words. So, no, I really don't think I have much stuff that's private that someone hasn't found out about. At least nothing that I can tell you about right now. I don't think I know anything.
Okay, that's fine.
Girls, can we talk to you? Are we allowed to ask them a question?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think? What do you guys think there might be something about me that no one knows? Any ideas?
I thought the sunbathing one was pretty interesting. I don't think anyone's going to be like, oh, you know Gilbert? Oh, he loves to sunbathe.
I know.
He loves to sit in the sun. What else would I have to say? I don't know. I think one of the things that people don't know about me would be I'm very, very interested in naturopathic medicine and homeopathic medicine, because I think that there's always multiple ways to do things, and the body's very capable of healing itself if it's given the right, tools and nutrition and everything else. So I'm actually very, very interested in that line, and I just I knew in law school, I knew going to law school, I was either going to go to law school or wanted to go to medical school like my father did, but I didn't really have the stomach of a doctor.
Yeah.
And so I'm still very, very interested in that because a lot of the little things I've had happen to me or sicknesses I've had haven't been cured by Western medicine. It's always been like a combined approach. So that's something I'm very interested in. I spend a ton of time researching and just looking into that natural medicine.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
interesting.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
interesting, yeah.
All right. And then I believe that would make you unique then, or do you believe that you're unique?
Definitely unique.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good
So
to hear.
that should cover that.
All right. And then what's your favorite trait about yourself?
It might be other people's least favorite trait, but my trait is tenacity and just relentlessness. Like, I just won't stop. If I don't need, I won't sleep. I won't eat. I won't whatever. If I need to get something done, I have a tendency to kind of tunnel vision, focus on it. And so, some people don't like that, but for me, it's been the reason I'm at where I'm at. I mean, my titles I won at the university, you know, as a national champ, you know, the Golden Gloves, the title belts I won are all because, you know, people told me I couldn't, and I told myself I could. And so the rest of it is, you know, hundreds of hours on Stairmasters and treadmills at 24 Fitness at 1 in the morning on a Friday night when all your friends are at Edge or Lex or wherever the hell else they are, and you know you're eating a spinach salad with chicken and watching fight film. You know, so I think that I guess attribute of mine that I'm probably most satisfied with is the fact that I'm not satisfied easily and that I will put in the hard work. And to me, you know, I don't like to cut corners. I've learned through the military, my father being a commander in the military, in the Marine Corps, that cutting corners doesn't get you there. It might get you somewhere faster, but ultimately that'll probably catch up to you. So doing things, doing it right, and, you know, just finishing it, staying in the fight till it's done. So
Definitely.
that answers the question.
Yes, very well. All right. And then how would your family describe you in 3 words?
Intense. 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 No, probably intense. I think, what do you call it? Like take charge type of thing. Like if shit hits the fan, I'm the guy that will probably jump in the middle of it all, good or bad, and figure something. I'll either make it worse or make it better. But I definitely am not going to sit there and watch for sure. So I would say intense, like a leadership role maybe, and then again, just relentless. My family would say this. They would definitely say that, because that's where I got it from. Is my mother and father are kind of like that. So.
And then they were your influences in how you became.
Well, my father being a Marine Corps commander and going through Marine Recon when he was younger, so I grew up going to Minogue, getting sick or being cold and having my father tell me to ignore the elements, and pain is just in the mind. And so I grew up a different way where like things were, you know, never easy. And in terms of like, if I tried to tell my father, you know, how long something took, like he'd say, "Did this get done?" I'd say, "Yes," but you know, he'd say, "Hey, I didn't ask you for the details or history report." I'd say, "Yes or no." Mm-hmm. So I think my family would look at me in the sense of, you know, I definitely have the intensity that you need to get something. I'm definitely going to step up and accept a leadership role or take a leadership role to get it done, and then I'm not going to stop until it's finished. So I think they'd say that, but I might be wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure you'd be right though.
I think my mom would probably say that.
Okay, and then could you explain why you chose to attend UNR other than it was the local university here?
Why did I choose to attend UNR? Well, you grow up, you know, living, dying, breathing, you know, blue and silver, you know, the pack. So there really wasn't many other schools I was looking at. My father at the time had actually made me a bet, or a, what do you call it? Like I actually just a bet. He just said, "Listen, stay here for a year, and if you don't like it and you want to go somewhere else, then go somewhere else." But he actually showed to me the difference between like in-state and out-of-state tuition, and then said if I wanted to go out of state, he would help me, but I would have to pay for it. And my choices got narrowed down pretty quickly. And so I went to Nevada out of necessity and out of, you know, I guess, you know, not really looking anywhere else. But I mean, it's just in this town, I think Nevada's not looked at as a school, in my opinion, or at least anybody I've ever met, as a bad school. It's a great school. I mean, it's in your hometown. It's got everything you want. You've got Lake Tahoe here. So for me, unless I was going to somewhere by the beach, this was the best place for me.
Understood. All right, and then could you explain why you chose to major in English Lit and poli-sci with emphasis in foreign affairs?
That's pretty good. I actually, okay, so this part of this goes into the story of what we were talking about, like make whole things full circle, is that in 1996, actually April 2nd, about 3:30 p.m., a senior from Minogue High School named DJ Bernardis was killed on the Spaghetti Bowl by a impaired driver. The guy wasn't over the limit, but as we all know, that when you go right onto 395 South, I mean, how many times is it backed up there right after Wells? And it's just always been a complete disaster there. Why they've never figured it out, I won't get it. He was stopped there. Someone didn't see the traffic stopping, stopped him, and it hit him. Well, I had just done my EMT1, and I wanted to go to medical school, as I was saying. So I did my emergency medical technician 1, my EMT2. I was going through that class that my father was teaching, by the way. And this was the day, quick little backstory, when we were doing, learning how to start IVs. And in front of my father, the commander, and the entire class, I woke up on the floor with a nasal cannula on because I passed out when they were taking blood. That's when I realized it probably wasn't going to be a good doctor in terms of, I mean, I'm all good with the handling someone else, but just keep that needle away from my arm. I don't like to see it. I can do a shot. I just don't like the taking of my blood. For some reason, to this day, I still will get white and have to lay down in LabCorp. They make fun of me. It's actually kind of embarrassing. I think it's a mental thing. I just don't like blood taken out of me. But so the English literature option is that what happened is my friend was killed. I had just come off a stretch of volunteering 2 nights at the hospital at Washoe Med at the time. And back then, I think things are different down there now, but back then you could get in and volunteer pretty easily. And, I'd done a couple nights there in a row, and this accident happened on a Tuesday. And so, I don't know, that was a big thing for me. And I actually went a little farther than most people would do. I didn't take the word for it from what I heard from people of what happened with the accident. I actually went down to the coroner's office, and they were going through the process of bringing him into the coroner's office, and I removed the sheet, did stuff you normally probably shouldn't do. And I was on a Tuesday, and I met with Skip Records up at UNR that Friday, and on the following Tuesday I changed my major from health science to English literature. And that's really what it was. I really decided, I want to do something advanced. I want to get my, a law degree or a medical degree. And the way things kind of had gone down, I just didn't want to be in medicine I didn't want to have to experience losing patients or going through that type of stuff if I didn't have to. And that's kind of where it was. And my father and my mother, actually my mother's an ER nurse, my father's a trauma surgeon, and they both tried to say, hey, listen, it happens, and just deal with it and get past it, but I didn't want to. So I changed my major to English literature, did well in English, was always pretty good at English and writing, and then the foreign affairs was just, I went to Italy. I did a study abroad program, so I actually was minoring in Italian and then ended up picking up the political science degree, dual thing, because I spent a little extra time at the university, as some of us do, not really sure what we're doing, and that's how that happened. I mean, I don't know if that's the best answer, but I kind of ended up in English Lit because the medical direction I was heading kind of got just spun really quickly, and I wanted to do something advanced, and that was the most logical option.
Definitely understand. And then going back to where you studied abroad, could you explain more about that in detail?
Okay. Let's see. I was in a fraternity at the university. I was in SAE at the time, and so I had a couple fraternity brothers that went to Turin, and my family's from Italy. Actually, I'm actually, to back things up again. My real last name by my biological father is Shermani, and actually pronounced it's Chiarmonte. So actually pronounced Carmonte, and so I was adopted by my real father, by my stepfather, Dr. Gilbert. And so I was always interested in the family's roots and our family coming from Italy, from Bari, and from Sicily. So I wanted to go there. So I picked Italy instead of Spain or Mexico or somewhere that would make sense. I picked Italy and learned Italian. Actually spoke Italian quite well when I came back because I was there almost 9 months. And I went there right before before the summer semester started, and I stayed all the way till November. And so it was, I remember, I think I saw one of your questions was like, why Italy, why Northern Europe? Well, for me, it was a no-brainer in the sense that it was a gateway to everything. I wanted to go to Switzerland, I wanted to go to Paris, I wanted to do all those things that you want to do and travel, and I did. I had a Eurail pass. I rode trains from Torino, Italy to the tip of Norway, like 70-something hours. I went everywhere, and I had a great time just seeing Europe. And I think that was back at a time when you could do, there wasn't all this craziness going on over there. So, we rode trains into Poland, we rode trains into Budapest, into Hungary, into Prague. Just did some really, really cool stuff. And for me, it was more about being somewhere where my family was from, learning the language, and then having access to the rest of Europe, which I did.
It's great to hear. All right, so I'm about to pass this on to
Okay.
my colleague, Caitlin.